Welcome once again, guys, to another edition of the West Coast Wrestling Podcast. I am Tony, your host for today. Alongside on my left hand over here will be the Cali Rattlesnake. How we doing, buddy?
What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing?
And then underneath him will be Mondo. How we doing?
Got something in my eye. I don't know. Foreign object. Maybe a MJF finger. I don't know. But no, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just want to shout out. Had my anniversary yesterday. And doing good. 8 years. Happy. I know you're listening, babe. Happy.
So this is the
seems kind of forced. No.
The WrestleMania 8 version of you. Okay. Woo!
Yep. Woo!
That's right. And then last but not least, we got our good friend Richie Duke, the Q Packy. How we doing, sir?
Doing well. Oh, just to clarify, with me going like this, I am not his babe. He was not talking to me. Just want to throw that out there in case it got confusing. But I'm doing good.
Happy 9 years to you guys. Anyway, but it's counting. Anyway, we had a pretty good, solid week of wrestling, guys, from all locations, from all over the world. And again, we're just here to have a good time, talk about wrestling, get everybody's opinion. And again, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are listening to us as you're driving, if you're working, or maybe just chilling at home before Monday Night Raw starts. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys are entertained with what we say in the next hour or so. And let's get and jump into it. WWE Solo Sikoa. Man, this guy is coming out, and I think is being the funniest guy out there. Callie, I know you were talking about that on our chat here, and you were saying like how he's funny and just kind of brightening it up now that he was probably still is a baby face now, and pretty much had a pretty tough loss over here on Monday Night Raw. But just want to get your thoughts on the way they're treating Solo's character now.
I've been saying this from the start. I think they're doing a great job with just letting him fly. He's a good heel, but he's great when people expect him to be a certain way, and people do not expect him to be this way, and not only be this way, but be good on the mic as well. That's always the number one thing in wrestling. Is we always go back to that, right? Like I'm not a wrestler, so I can't judge him off wrestling, but I know enough entertainment, and we know enough entertainment to understand that the mic skills in the wrestling business is. And when you have it, I mean, I just let them fly. I'm curious to see what kind of direction they go with him, and kind of how you guys were already saying. I don't know if he's a heel, a baby, or we don't know what's going on, but just let him fly. Let him do what he's doing.
So Mondo, to go with that, I know you've been very critical of Bloodline, of anybody that's related to the Bloodline, but then this time around, I was like, wow, Mondo's really like kind of turning a small leaf when it comes to Solo Sikoa. Do you think it's because he's just being naturally himself? Because that's what it is. I think. What is that? Is that the right thing to say?
But is everybody okay back there? Anybody get shot? All right, we good, dude. Right, I love this. I got to go with Miguel. Just let him fly. He's a tweener right now. We don't know what he is. Babyface, heel. But what he's doing is making fun of this whole Bloodline thing. I am upset, though, that he took the loss. Because now it's like, oh, we're doing this whole thing again. It's like, we've seen it once. We've seen it twice. I'm going to be like Mr. Burns. I'm going to hit my belt buckle not once, not twice, but thrice. I understand we got a good thing going with these guys. But, man, like Miguel said, let them fly, dude. They don't need the Bloodline no more. I think we can let it fall asleep. Let it rest. Solo's doing a great job with the mic. He's entertaining. He's funny. He's mocking Jey Uso. He's mocking the whole Bloodline, dude. And I love that. But it's got to end. You got to let these guys fly on their own. Like, they don't need Roman. Roman doesn't need them. He's proven it. He can beat matches without the Bloodline. But going back to Solo, good stuff. Again, not thrilled that he lost in the match, but we'll see where this goes. Hopefully they don't derail the character, so to speak. Let's just
Mhm.
see if where this leads to, you know?
Yeah. So, Richard, going on to that. So, with him losing, does this mean, we had the Samoan Werewolf always calling Jey Uso punk ass Jay for a couple of times now, and he's like, "Why is he calling me that?" Was this the match for Jay to win, in order for him to like not be a punk ass Jay?
No.
So it was
No,
okay for him to lose. You
he's
think
still gonna be a punk ass. I think still gonna be a
100%.
punk ass. No, I don't. I think they just. This is one of those where I think they're letting Solo fly, but there's somewhere in there where they still want Solo to somehow be involved with the bloodline or some sort of family thing when he was with the MFTs. Like he can't just like do us. They still kind of don't trust him basically doing a solo because even in the previous match, right? He did a triple. He did a three-man tag. So it's where's the he has not really had like a solo like feud with anyone. It's always been like he has a family, he has this, he has that. And it's kind of looking like they're still gonna have him involved in one way or another. Like just having that. And so the only thing really good about it is the fact that he is kind of flying and maybe getting the crowd reaction. Maybe they will just finally let him go and do a solo feud and be enjoying that like how others have. But it's kind of
Well, I guess we'll find out Monday Night Raw, see where that leads to. Speaking of like Solo and finally letting them go, I think it's about time, and we talked about this in February at Backlash, or March Backlash. We got Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is finally kind of ready to explode when it comes to being the future of WWE. So right now, Obafemi is being called the future of WWE based on what Brock Lesnar said during SummerSlam. So it's finally getting into his head. Miguel, what do we think about Braun Breaker finally being let go and actually maybe disaligning himself from the vision?
Yeah, I mean that should have been the first thing in the first place. They should have never aligned him with the first place. Again, he runs with the NXT crew, and for those who are watching, we don't need to run down the list of the guys who came up with NXT, but that whole universe, in particular, that class of NXT that we keep talking about, he's part of that, and we keep I'm not saying us, right? But let's just say in general, we keep forgetting every time we talk about that class, Obafemi and Braun Breaker are always left out as if not forgotten, but we forget that they're in that class. There is so many feuds and so many stories that can carry the future with just that universe. Why put them with a group of veterans? The excuse can't be, oh, well, it's so he learns from the veterans. Come on, man. We are not executives, but that can't be the only excuse of why supposedly he joined the Vision, right? Was so that he get a couple veterans under his belt and he can learn, and that those type of reasons don't sell to me. So absolutely cut him off and let him start beefing with all the guys that they've been beefing since NXT, because that's gonna look much more organic. It's gonna look much more real. It's gonna look like they really do have beef, because on TV they do, right? So let them loose.
Let him loose. Yes, that's what we've been saying it from the beginning, and we're finally seeing like the teasing of that happening. And then Mondo, like we're speaking, sticking with the vision. It's just so happened that we brought up the just talking about it before we jumped on live here with the podcast, that when it comes to cramming people down our throats, so to speak. And one of them is being at the moment, and then in my opinion, is Austin Theory. Austin Theory out of nowhere now is like getting matches after matches after matches on Monday Night Raw, and now all of a sudden like they're trying to push him to be this like badass guy heel on Monday Night Raw. And, he's beating up Tozawa, he's beating up Otis. and anybody else that's not really top tier level wrestler, but they're trying to build them up. But how do you feel like this guy is actually being, pushed at the moment?
50-50. You got a young talent with Austin Theory. The guy puts in work in and out of the ring. I mean, you look at his social media. This guy's like, I'm going to use the word the word here loosely, like an advocate for WWE, doing a lot of positive things, and you take that into account with his character that's presented in the ring, which is the total opposite. So there's that humanitarian portion of him. You're feeding him, like you said, low tier wrestlers. I don't think Otis or Tozawa is low tier, to be honest. I think they're both exceptional wrestlers. Otis is a tag team specialist. Tozawa was, dude, this guy was like in 205, coming up the ranks. But I do get to
they're
McGill's
jobbers.
Yeah,
They're
they're
the
forced
jobbing.
down to jobbers. But going to Miguel's point, though, it's like you have him going up against these veterans, right? Okay. You're put in a stable to get advice from veterans. Excuse me, the Division does not have any veterans. Logan Paul himself and Braun Breaker. And then you got, what's her name? Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
The only person with any expertise was the Advocate, Paul Heyman, and he's no longer there. So
And I would even say Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins was there, but then look what they did.
They
They burned the bridges with him.
Yeah.
And then, but now I'm looking at it now. It's like, okay, well, you have to build up your, I guess, your stable of not faces, but heels. And you're starting off with Austin Theory. Okay, I get it. Logan Paul's injured, but then you got Braun Breaker. Like, he got lost in the shuffle there. He's like a sad little puppy. And like you said, going back, it looks like they're unleashing him, but the main focus is throwing these people to Austin Theory, which is fine. Is it the right move? I think so, because you have to build up rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
A good way right now, it's with Otis and Tozawa. I think he's coming off a little too strong, getting both victories, or is it one? Trying to remember.
Yeah, two, because I think you have
two,
to,
right, with the tag match and then one-on-one with Tozawa. So yeah, so he's 2-0. But where do you go from there? So, is he going to be mocking Otis until he comes back from this supposed injury or he's out of action? So I just kind of want to see how they lean into that going forward with Austin Theory. And if they can elevate him just a bit once this feud is over, I want to see something bigger from him. I want to see him feud with, God, the freaking roster is so big there. So just somebody from either his class or somebody, an up and coming person in that roster. But to go back, is it good? I think it is. The way they're handling it, they're doing it with a little bit of care, and let's just see how it materializes in the end. But Austin Theory, great wrestler, hoping the best for him.
Rich, do you think that Division has been a stable that has been cursed since injuries has taken effect?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they all had plans for all of them, and every single one of them. I think Austin Theory was the only one not hurt. So it's kind of, I think it's kind of been, since he's been the only one, I think this is why they're kind of trying to they put him with Maxine Dupree, so there's like a storyline there. They're kind of giving him more matches because they want Braun. I think based on even what we're seeing, like why are they pushing now Braun versus Oba here? Because they already know Logan's gonna come back eventually. When Logan comes back, Braun's is gonna be in the background again. So they need to already put that situation for Braun to let him be outside of the vision. And then when Bronson Reed comes back, I don't know where they're going to place him. Because at this point, it's kind of like, I think with them, it's, I don't know where you go with them, except like they need to either be a two or they need to all separate at this point. Logan Paul can be by himself. He's already shown he can have feuds with people.
Here's my thing is that Braun Breaker, again, let's just go down the list again.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Evans, Oba Femi, Braun Breaker, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams. Who else am I missing?
Ethan Page.
Yeah, Ethan.
Oh, Ethan Page, and then one more, I believe. So that's 7, right? That's 7 that we just named off right there.
Rusev. No, I'm just kidding.
They all
Carmelo Hayes.
have been beefing in NXT. They all 7 of them in NXT, they were never a faction. They were always all 7 beefing each other.
Yeah.
That storyline needs to carry on into what is now the future, right? But the issue is, like Mondo said, and how Kupaki also stated, right? What I don't understand as well is this one thing is when you have guys like that that are coming up, why put them in a faction right away? I would think, and I say this not in the wrong way, I say like respectfully, like in a good way, but let them suffer in a good way alone, you know, when they're coming up. And once you think you're there, boom, then put them in a faction or create a faction or whatever. But we saw Braun Breaker pretty much come into from NXT to WWE, and it was just straight into a faction. We haven't got Braun Breaker by himself, you know?
So I think it's
I got to
time.
do the Steiner math on that one though.
It's time. Yeah, 2/3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start that. That's too much for me too. But yes, we're all in agreement. And since February, since the beginning of the year, let Braun go. Let Braun go. So hopefully they'll let him go, and it's crazy if they will restart that actually at the beginning of the year, but we'll see.
Unleash.
Moving on. So we got we have Stephanie Beck here. We got the man fighting over a belt, and we still don't have the women's champion kind of like in there kind of defending herself. I know we talked about this last week. Things are kind of progressing, but how do we feel now? Do we feel like, it's time for Liv Morgan to actually start getting into the ring again and start actually defending the title a little bit more frequently? Have you guys
What do you mean start? She should have been.
Exactly.
That's my first question.
Exactly.
What
It
do
was
you
start like 2 months ago.
no. Well, start 2 months ago. No. She needed to start this when Mondo said, which was 9 months ago when she first won the damn belt, or
Is that how long it's
she's
been?
just been sitting on it. Or
Yeah, for
like
wherever how long she's had it. But yeah, you're right.
no,
She's been
she's had
sitting
it
on
for
this
a
belt.
minute.
Yeah.
It's been 100 days as well, almost 3 months. So now we're going to day number 200, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to break Roman Reigns' streak.
No, Athena
Well,
already
actually,
did
no.
that.
Actually,
Athena did that.
It's your girl Mondo at
Athena in
Athena. There you go. She's
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, ROH.
she's the one true champion, which we'll probably talk about later on. But yeah, we're all in agreement here. I again, it's just repeating the same thing from last week. We need her to fight. We need her to start putting herself out there. I get it. The movie thing is happening for her, but I think it's time that we give it to Stephanie Vacure or give it to the man, so that way they can actually defend the title. I think they bring more luster in terms of the wrestling aspect to the belt. And I think it's time to get that belt off of Liv Morgan. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that because we all feel the same way, which is actually nice and a nice little segue to actually the women's intercontinental title. So it seems like the same four are battling there. At the end of the day, I think Io Sky should be the next champion again. Right now, La Mas Ruda is holding the title belt. They had a nice little tag match on Monday Night Raw. And then, I don't know. I just, Sol Ruka, I think she almost botched another like flip outside, but this girl is amazing. I think she's just needs to get her timing a little bit more better, which she is. Every repeat, I think she's getting her timing a little bit more better. But Miguel, do you see improvements in Sol Ruka's performance?
Yeah, Soroka's dope. I've always said she's super energetic. She is athletic, right? You can have all that, but exactly how you stated, it doesn't mean you have certain things down yet. And I think everyone is starting to catch up, but people are acknowledging week in and week out, okay, yeah, she's messing up here and there, but you can tell she's working on it, you know? So I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with Soruka so far. Yeah.
He's like, catch me at the beach with her.
Catch me at the beach with Sol Ruka.
But yeah, so far so good. I really think the titles, I guess those four women, instead of focusing on the main title, they're focusing and giving the intercontinental title a little bit more love. So Mondo, how do you feel about giving that title a little bit more love with these four women at the moment?
You got to bring up the belts, man. We can't have another like Liv Morgan situation, and I'm glad we're not seeing it here with that title.
With
It's
La
just
Ruka?
Sol Ruka. You guys are all high on her. I'm not. Uh, we'll talk about Mr. Jericho in a little bit, but he always he despises that word botch. But I mean, what else can you say? It's a mistake live on TV. You have reps, you have, that's why you get to the building 4, 5, 6, 7 hours before the event starts. You talk to the person, you kind of work on your movesets. You're there, you can get in the ring. It just seems like she's just there. And it's like, I'm not going to take anything away from her because like Miguel says, we're not, we're not wrestlers per se ourselves, but just like in any profession, practice makes improvement. And there's still some of those things where she needs to, and I'm not saying, oh, I can see that she needs to work on this. No, it's just when we see those type of things happen on live television, it's like, man, you start to question, is this your scene? Is this like live setting your scene? Or do we need to take it back a notch and just, hey, not right now. We don't want you here at this moment. Maybe we can do some dark matches before putting you back out there and just, like everyone has stated before, let's work on your timing. Let's work on something. Because when I look at her, I'm like, oh, where is she gonna, not the B word, not the female version of that B word, but where's the botch? Where's the lie? And it's just like, man, for me, it's like hard to watch. I just hope that she gets put in a good position to excel. Because again, you got to put them with veteran wrestlers. She fought Becky Lynch. She's been fighting her way up. And then you got Io Sky, who's proven time in and time out why she should hold any damn women's title in that division. She holds it down. And to me, that's a lack of respect there. I don't know what the hell the writers in the back are thinking, not deciding to put a belt on her, but do it soon and do it now, because you need her presence to elevate, whether it's the IC title, the US title, there's so many, like the 2 world championship titles, and I'll just say it that way. But yeah, there's so much potential that she's going to waste, and I hate that. I hate to see that.
I was gonna jump on that. I know we were talking about maybe like tag teams. Going the opposite way. We talked about Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker needed to break off. You think she actually needs to be tagged with? I mean, they obviously had a match, but maybe continuing tagged with Io Sky, and just to kind of get her.
I think that would benefit her a lot, just to kind of see like how they do things. Maybe if she's more of a visual learner, because that's how I learn. I have to see it and then do it myself and be like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, if it'll help her improve, then yeah, I would take it in a heartbeat. Just anything would help.
Just I think at the end of the day, when it comes to high flying, they said it on commentary before, and obviously as we were growing up watching wrestling, they're high risk maneuvers, right? Sometimes botch will happen here and there, or sometimes you will miss your mark. Guys do it all the time too. We'll see the Mexican wrestlers flip out there and probably land and probably maybe just graze somebody, but then we'll fall over. I think with Sol, I think when I was watching the match, when she did her flip outside, her timing, it just needs to be a little bit. I think it's her way of doing things is really smooth. It's just that Raquel wasn't in position at that time, and then I'm like, when she flipped, then when she landed, I was like, oh, that looked a little bit off. But then again, it doesn't take away from the match. It was a really solid match. Sol Ruka really did a great job there, and yeah, I think that the IC title match, for what it is, or at least in terms of the picture of the IC title, I think it's getting a little bit more prestige at the moment. And then hopefully, the women's division, hopefully it continues to grow and hopefully we get other women out there to compete, not just them. At the moment, I think that's the only thing we have.
Yeah, because everything's focused on the IC title, making it hot, so somebody can take a backseat and not defend their little championship because her little motto, which is really annoying. That's all she does is shriek.
But that's we'll move on to SmackDown here. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. How are we feeling about the match there? It's coming together a little bit more. Q Packy, you mentioned it, Saturday night's main event. How do you feel about the build up so far?
So far, I mean, I think this is the moment to try to pull Cody away from the title picture. He's always kind of been in the title picture. This is his way of again feuding with someone still like Randy, getting that, because now it's time for Punk and Owens. So I think this is actually a good build-up. This is enough to like at least put on a good match. We saw a good match with them before, so having another match where they basically get to wrestle each other a couple more times, I'm actually all for it. Again, I hope it just continues though after Saturday night's main event and not just one and done, and all of a sudden we're at a different storyline.
I was when we were growing up, it'd be a feud, and then it'll be like other people feuding together, and then that's how we got the Survivor Series. And I think that's where we're in August. So the next pay-per-view or PLE is going to be
Worlds Collide.
Well, Worlds Collide. That's one. But then I was thinking more about Money in the Bank and then getting into Survivor Series. So I'm just thinking that hopefully there's. Again, I think we talked about this last year, Mondo, in terms of bringing the teams back.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they can bring teams back at least maybe one or twice or two matches, I mean, for the Survivor Series. But again, that's just I'm probably talking too far ahead of myself, but that's just wishful thinking and fantasy booking on my end. Let's get four on four,
Hey.
5.
This is the game. We don't like fantasy booking, all right? I'm gonna
Oh,
spit
my
my
bad.
water in the air.
Hey, you were drinking water too.
Just a little drip. I don't want to get it all over the equipment.
Real quick, also moving on to giving screen time to those wrestlers. Miguel, I know we talked about you mentioned Carmelo Hayes. Right now he's feuding for the United States title at the moment, and he had the title. He's been kind of on the downside of the winning streak. How do we get Carmelo Hayes to come back up?
Well, he's another one in the NXT pool that I forgot to mention in that whole group. So feed him back. Just start the whole feud with all them again. I mean, I hate to sound like the hamster running the same wheel or whatever, but it's true. I mean, you have so many storylines with those guys. Please take advantage and start using them instead of putting them in factions, downplaying another one, nothing but losses. Like, come on, y'all. This can't be the excuse of oh, it's just how we do. Just to go to something else that you said earlier, right?
Mhm.
Now I forgot exactly what you said. We'll come back to it, but it refers back to the same concept of why is it that we're doing stuff just because. Oh, okay. I know what we were talking about. The whole Liv Morgan thing, right? You were saying how, oh man, you said it earlier. Watch when we play this back. You said, oh man, well, it sucks that, and not in these words, I'm just summarizing. Oh, it sucks that they're giving her the title because of the movie. So you mean to tell me, because this isn't the first superstar that has had a movie or that has done a movie while holding the title. We know that this has been going on now for, I think we can say decades, right? You mean to tell me after decades, we're still using the same excuse of, oh, it's because they're the champion, so we're gonna let them hold it. Come on.
I'm gonna say yes because that's how it's always been. That's
No,
that's how they get their they're like, oh my god, she's a champion. And
Like that can't be and I'm not saying you, right? I'm just
no,
saying,
no, you're good.
that can't be the excuse, man. So give it to a fighting champion and let's get the belt off her, or you fight.
Austin
Yeah.
Theory was in Spider-Man. How come he wasn't the champ? Even though it was like a few seconds.
Who?
Austin Theory, like in the Spider-Man No Way Home, I believe, or Far From Home. Whatever home freaking.
Wasn't
I
he
was
like
about to
in
call
the
it Tobey
prison scene
Maguire.
or something?
Yeah, it was in the scene where it's
Whatever home he was at.
the what is it? Scorpion and the Vulture, Batman. Oh, I'm sorry, the Vulture. They were just talking, and then he's just kind of like, "Oh, I'm just like right there in the background." How come Austin
I
Theory
remember
wasn't a
that.
champ? Huh? I bet you that's Liv Morgan's scene too. Just background character.
Yeah, for real hard. Just like a back piece, just like
Yeah, exactly. Just
side camera view.
yeah. She's how far away you have to fucking zoom in.
So you gotta pause it and like
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, yeah,
There she
there
is,
you are.
right there.
Yeah.
That's Liv
It's just
Morgan.
like a streak. You didn't really see her face. It's just like
so that's what you were holding the title for so long. Just that little piece.
I was in there.
Yeah. I mean, Wade Barrett was in a few movies. Drew McIntyre. So yeah, I agree with Miguel. That's a BS excuse, man. Because if everybody's getting a movie deal, whether it's like a few lines here and there, so that's so weird.
I remember when John Cena was filming a movie, he got stabbed by Carlito's cousin. All right. Do you guys remember that storyline?
I
He wasn't a
remember
champ.
The Rock dropping the title to Brock Lesnar so he could do Scorpion King or whatever whatever movie he was doing. So, but yeah, no, I just at the end of the day, I do want to see I know they brought back Baron Corbin. I know they're trying to make him into a monster and whatnot. But I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like these losses I think it weighs heavier in terms of the losses on these, on like a Carmelo Hayes or Trick Williams, where I'm like, man, these guys shouldn't be losing. You want to build these guys up to be your next superstars, but it comes with the territory, I guess. Wins or losses, I don't know. They don't get recorded as much as an AEW because AEW actually, tells you, hey, this is their record. WWE doesn't do that. But speaking of like being on screen time, and finally we get to see Matt Cardona out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but then finally giving him an excuse to be on the show and
like,
defending
wrestler,
his honor, and defending his honor, her honor, his wife's honor, out there this Friday night. And so, do you want to see more of Matt Cardona on SmackDown, Mondo?
That's the part I just kind of like zoned out. Honestly, I'm gonna say no. Look, man, I know
He's
they're
been
not
fighting
putting
all
him.
his life.
Yeah, you know what? It's sad that it's come down to this for him because he hasn't. When has he wrestled and won a match?
Well, that's why.
Well, that's why.
But I saw him win once on Main Event.
That was like way back when. I want to see him, but in a different capacity. But man, I don't know. Like, I just zoned out on that. I was just like, okay, like, I'm interested yet not interested, if that makes sense. But I don't know, man. I'm at a loss of words for that. Miguel, take it away, because
I mean, I think me and Manga kind of feel the same way about the situation. We've been saying it for weeks, and actually ever since he probably signed. There's nothing wrong against Matt Cardona. We've been saying, we've never said nothing negative about that. The only thing that we have said why, and obviously he himself has answered the question, but still though, from a standpoint of where he was at, why would you even make that decision? And that's, again, when you were on the independent circuit and had the independent circuit by the palm of your hands and was getting booked here and there, this show, this country, this, doing well and getting ring time, to sacrifice to say I'm in the WWE and no airtime, that's a little tough to like Mano said, that's a little tough to swallow. And but to make this short story, excuse me, he's just one of those wrestlers where he should have just stayed in the independent scene, because, again, they need. I wish, I don't know how it goes, right? But they also need to look at the roster too, and upcoming roster, and make those business decisions better for themselves. Do I feel bad that he has no airtime? No. Am I excited that he's getting more airtime? No. Do I care if he's even in the WWE? No. So yeah, it just sucks for him, man. It just sucks what's going on with him.
I will I will say I was one of those where it's like when they said he was gonna join in, I was hoping to basically see him wrestle week by week. Because like you said, like the fact that he was in Independence, you could probably find some really good matches that he was weak at
Oh,
different.
yeah, hey, mother.
Yep. GCW, Indy. He probably had some great matches, great feuds just in general. He comes
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
WWE and what? He has literally no feud with anyone. He has like if he's gonna start a feud with Gunther, it kind of felt like this was just like a throwaway, just to make Gunther look stronger, which they pushed Gunther because as their top heel. But it's this unless they this goes somewhere. I mean, like they are wasting him.
Yeah, I would like to see him get into the U.S. title scene again, jump in there so that we can get with the mix, like Miguel said, with the newer guys, where they can learn from Matt Cardona along the way. And I think yeah, Baron Corbin is there too now, and they can learn from him. But I would like to see Matt Cardona be a part of that too somehow, because yeah, he fought in GCW. He was a champion, and he put on some fucking bangers out there. And for him to be on the sidelines, yeah, I agree with Callie. It just sucks. Do we care? I mean, I in a sense I kind of do because I brought it up, but then because we finally get to see him. So again, wanted to get your guys' opinions on that. Hopefully, maybe we'll see what happens with him. If not, we'll see you in February on this show, I guess.
I have a question for you guys though. Why do you think they brought him back as Matt Cardona and not Zack Ryder? And I'm more thinking like okay, he was big independent, like he had his own name, but technically Zack Ryder, right, is the WWE kind of like brand. Why wouldn't they just bring him back as that and push that? Why do they need him to be Matt Cardona if they're not even gonna utilize him for anything that Matt Cardona kind of was? They should just kind of push him as Zack Ryder, like
At
make
this
him
point,
Zack
right?
Ryder and make him do stuff as Zack Ryder as coming back instead of, you know what I mean? It's kind of
I see what you mean. I think they should probably put him like in hardcore title matches, or kind of put him in a street fight type of match where he excelled out there in GCW, where that's pretty much, those are like death matches out there.
yeah.
That's what put him over the edge. That's what put him over on the map again. He was bloodied all over the place, and we haven't really seen that yet happen on WWE programming. I think I want to do. I think I want to see that. I think I want to see him get out there and be destructive and be a daredevil out there, and not flipping, but then getting out there and get hardcore
You
wrestling.
should take a page out of the book of foolishness and do a Zack Ryder versus Matt Cardona universe kind of thing, and run with that. Because again, and I'm going to say this, when you get back to the WWE and you did it on your own, this company despises that. And if you get there again, there's certain cases like an AJ Styles, for instance,
Cody.
competition with TNA back in the early 2000s, went over to Japan, did his thing, and it was the big decision of what was it, like about 10, 12 years ago, with him either going to, oh no, 7 or 8 years ago when his contract expired. Are you going to stay with go with AEW, excuse me, or stay with WWE? And he was that was his dream. And we talked about how some of these wrestlers, they want to cement their legacy by saying, hey, I was in the WWE. Well, you got it, and look how they're treating you. It's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. And right now, we are seeing the negative effects of going to the dream job, and in the end, they're not even utilizing you, because it's like, this is a deathmatch guy. Like, we can't use him. He's not good shit. Let's have him do this. Let's
but
water him down. Let's
but
not
here's
feed
my
him
thing.
anything.
But here's my thing, because you make
That hurt.
those are everything that you said. They're all excellent points, right? But here's my thing too, right? Is he not sitting here thinking about this forehand though, like before he signs, right? Every single point that you made, like if I'm a wrestler, that's what I'm thinking before I'm signing, you know? Are they gonna utilize me for my specialty? You know, what does the roster look like? And I don't want to believe that they don't, that they just naively just sign because it's their dream job. But
Most of
are they
them.
not thinking about this shit, man? Like, are they not?
I think so. I
Like,
I really think he
come
and
on,
I
man.
think there's one thing that made him, obviously yes, this is his dream job, but I think the one thing that had him come back was his wife. I think that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's the only thing. He could say, "Hey, I busted my ass to get up here," but guess what? I think he's the one that's probably going to be like, "I'm okay doing a special appearances, doing house shows, but I get to kick it with my wife."
I
They don't do
I
house
think that's
shows.
what it is, you know. But that's
They've
what
been doing.
that's why he came out, right?
I
We
just
know that they're a couple, and I think that's what I'm saying. I want him to be out there a little bit more. Let's get his ass out there, just like these other younger talent that deserve the time to be on SmackDown and on Raw, even for a 5 minute fucking match. We've seen it on AEW. We've seen it with Speedball out there getting his ass kicked, a couple of months ago. But we know Speedball now. Like I know him more. Like
It
he's
was the
that guy that
karate
does
gi,
kicks.
bro. Let's get that right. It was the awful dress. I mean, awful suit he wore.
But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I think Mark Cardona's I think he's happy, but we're not happy with him not being on TV. I think we want to see him on TV, and in some cases we don't care. I guess. But yeah, I guess that's what it is there.
So like my
Uh,
idea, Zack Ryder versus Matt Cardona.
book it, book it, book it.
Hey, at the Royal Rumble, I better see both of them in the
At the same
different
time.
songs. Real quick, he's gonna have to blow up his hair. We had title changes. Richard, you brought that up earlier.
Yes.
Before we got on. Would you like to elaborate, sir?
So yes, Tiffany Stratton. Well, I'm looking at Tiffany Stratton. She lost her U.S. belt
Well, what are you looking at?
to JC Jane.
Fatal
Eh,
influence.
Fatal influence, not fatal attraction. Fatal.
Like I told my brother,
fatal
be called Basic
injuries
Instinct.
fatal injuries to whoever they wrestle.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean, it looked like Tiffany almost took a freaking injury like 3 times in that match. It was kind of scary, but yeah. I mean, I know what you mean, but holy crap. Yeah, what a title change.
Yeah.
Now everybody in that faction has a title, which is that's one of my biggest things. It's like if you have a faction, give them the time with the titles. Have the faction members each have a belt. Have that solidify them as a top faction in your company, wherever you're at. Just have them hold on to the belts, establish them, and they're doing something that they should do for, like, again, with Miguel, do that with some of the guys that are coming up in NXT, dude. You guys they have potential, but it's a good thing that we are seeing it with the women's division. I know Tony's been pushing that in AEW. He loves it with WWE. I was about to call it WCW.
Damn, get out of the
Jesus.
90s, bro.
Still in the past.
Fatal Instinct.
The X-Men over here.
WWP.
But yeah, I love it, guys, and I'm gonna leave it right there because just thinking about Fatal. Oh, God. Fatal Influence.
Fatal.
Jesus Christ, I'm all over the goddamn place. Oh my God. Yeah, take it away, somebody. Take it away. I'm done. But good, good for the women. Good for those lovely ladies.
I
love women.
I was
But I love my wife more.
when my baby lost her title. So
Wait, I shouldn't have winked. Somebody take it away, God.
Miguel's talking over here.
yeah, I hope she. I need Tiffany to get her title back.
He sounds like he's heartbroken. But speaking of being heartbroken, let me just kind of like, we talked about this or mentioned it a couple of weeks back, a couple of weeks back because of SummerSlam, I think it was SummerSlam. This influencer, I don't know if it's been on your feeds lately, this influencer
Neon.
named Neon, again, notorious Neon, was hanging out with Tiffany Stratton. I don't know how I felt about that. I again, when it comes to having this guy involved, I mean, these type of influencers, I get it. They got to do what they got to do, but damn, I don't know, man. It just feels weird seeing Tiffany Stratton hanging out with this piece of shit, and he is. I'm sorry, you might have some Neon fans out there, but there are, and so I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bad. I don't know. It's a bad look, I think, especially with what happened with Penta, and then now you have Tiffany Stratton hanging out with this dumbass. I don't know if you guys saw that on your feed on IG or TikTok.
Did you send that to me? I know somebody sent it,
Yeah.
or was it Richard? Richard, yeah, right.
I think it might have
didn't
been me.
send.
Yeah,
I think
it was
Tony
sent.
sent it.
Yeah,
Hey,
But I
listen.
watched the clip because they brought up she brought up retirement, that she probably will wrestle for till like 35, like another 10 years.
I'm just gonna say this. I think we all got bamboozled. Yes, I still use that word. We got bamboozled into thinking like this guy did something horrible, but it also boosted his reputation on social media. And with the WWE, it's a new audience that they're trying to capture, and the way they did about that is because it rattled the cages. It rattled the cages. We're gonna get Matt Card. Oh wait, sorry, that's never mind. But anyways, bad joke there. But what they did was just rattle the cages for WWE fans and wrestling fans in general, because we care. We care about the traditions. And what that showed me was just that, dude, WWE doesn't really give a rat's ass. They do that on purpose. They set up these plants, industry plants. And I'm going to say, AEW did the same thing, because during that beach break, it was around that time, they had somebody from Twitch ringside streaming a beach break. So I'm like, hey, both people are at fault. One person did, I don't want to say right or wrong. Let's just say he just did what he was supposed to do. Didn't ruffle any feathers. You know what I mean? But this guy, you can kind of see like, oh, this guy, because I started looking more of his videos. That's all he does. He antagonizes people. And I'm just like, well, we bought into it. The wrestling fans, the people who care, because it's real to me, damn it. Because I still believe in it. Because I know, when I go to a movie, I know it's fake too, people. So let's just put that out there too. But when something like that happens and it triggered us the way it did, boom, they did their job. Not only did they antagonize pure wrestling fans, they got a new audience, and the people who follow, is it Neo? Neon, whatever. Okay, Neon, whatever. See, don't even care. But the point is, it's like they did their job, man. And that's coming at the expense at the wrestling fans. And this is, again, I'm going to say it, and you guys already know, that's why I'm an AEW mark. WWE can give two shits on how they manipulate their own audience to get more viewers, to get more people and more attention to their brand. And you're going to do that? And now we have to suffer because Neo is going to be a staple of WWE interviews going forward, because it'll start with Tiffany Stratton. Oh my God, that's your real name? Oh, yes, dumb shit. Even actors have fake stage names. Like, were you born under a rock or something? But anyways, I digress. But this is moving forward. If he's going to create more content with WWE, it's like, I guess I have to. Well, I already deleted my social media, but even better for me. But still, I have to do some stuff for the podcast. So I'll watch it. But again, it's like, hey, I got bamboozled. Not going to happen. If he does so, go ahead. If you guys want to continue following Neon, go ahead. I'm just going to call you Neon the Peon, because that's what you are to me. You're just a stupid peon. That's my 2 cents.
I think to your point, Mon, that's kind of the age we live in. Just because if he did nothing wrong, and you're right, if he did nothing wrong, he went back there, he followed all the rules, and still just only his followers saw it, whatever he did, whether it's a Tiffany Stratton or that, we wouldn't be talking about him. We'd just be like, oh yeah, well, some random influencer that we don't watch. The fact that he caused controversy essentially with, I'll call it, the marks, is kind of like, yeah, it's gonna bring attention now to wrestling fans, but then it's also gonna bring attention to everyone else who's not in either bubble, right? They're like, who's this guy? Why did he piss them off? They're gonna want to see why. So and then now there's eyes now on WWE.
Yeah,
And
that's you know, and it's
it's like kind of
there's that dude, and then you know, the ones that I see, which you know, I think they're cool and I think they're fun, is the one where Dominic Mysterio hangs out with these Hispanic guys that they filmed down in San Diego, I think. I don't know if you see that. He hangs around with the guy, these like 4 Hispanic dudes from time to time. They were in Burbank Sports Cards, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and one of them, like, you know, got his autograph and then resold it for like $5,000. Got $5,000 credit at Burbank Sports Cards, and then they just happened to be filming with Rey Mysterio doing some wrestling clips here and there. But it looked more fun. It looked like they were more chill versus somebody that is on, you know, I guess Neon's on Twitch as well, and creating content to you know, make more money. I don't know. I think that's how it is. I guess, you know, I don't know. Maybe that, you know, maybe I am older. I'm in old school and whatnot, and just gotta get with the times, I guess. But it's just, to me, this Neon situation, I don't like the guy, and I just think that was, I don't know. I think they could do better.
How you know?
I think just I think the difference though with someone like Neon, the way even every time I see an interview, he's asking questions in a way like he's a dumbass or something. Like he's definitely like, and that might be his shtick. Maybe, you know, maybe that's just how he is.
He's a
That's
nerd.
what everyone likes. But I've seen influencers who like at least talk about wrestling. At least they know some sort of research or do research. You go into any popular topic, you should do at least some research. And even if you're just going to ask questions, you ask it in a way where it doesn't sound like, "Hey, I'm a dumbass. Can you tell me like what? You have a different name, or you know, or what we're not supposed, oh, you don't have like."
It's the
When you
times
do
we
that,
live in, Rich. Like you said, man, it's the times we live in.
yeah, but it almost like it's almost like demeaning like entertainment we like to watch. Like go into anything like that and just kind of act like a dumbass and like in any fandom and everyone looking at that going, "Why are you here? Like, do you even care about like learning about it? Or
Yeah,
are
But
you
that,
here
that's
just
that.
to essentially insult it?"
Yeah, but
And that's
that's
what it
just the
feels
way it
like.
is. People, for some reason, people subscribe to that, and
Yeah.
I scratch my head. I'm like, how do these people who lack the knowledge to create a complete sentence sometimes, or even speak or communicate, and you know, sometimes I go, maybe I gotta do do a Steiner and be like, I gotta dumb myself down.
well, all I gotta say is that Mondo, now you got a competition when it comes to now we got Richard's version of Neon versus your Dusty Rhodes and your cast of characters that you do, Mondo.
Yeah, I heard that, baby. You sent me that Taco Bell drive-through, baby, and I gotta tell you, I'm deeply offended because I am a hardworking man. You would never see me working at a Taco Bell, baby. I'm gonna tell you that much. I'm a working man. I'd be the garbage man. You know, they took my Duke the Dumpster Drosy persona and gave it to him, and I was just like offended, baby. You know, but I became one of my polka dots and I started dancing, feel some rhythm. Where's Sapphire, baby? Sapphire! Sapphire, where are you?
Yeah, I think eventually we'll have Dusty Rhodes meet Neon, and then Neon can hang out with Dusty Rhodes, and then we'll have Stone Cold ET get in the drive-through.
Give me a call, baby.
But anyway, moving on to that, it is what it is. But speaking of Dominic Mysterio, we're going to TRIPLEAA. TRIPLEAA night 2 main event has been set. Numero dos. We got Dominic Mysterio versus El Grande Americano for the AAA World Title. Again, this is a 2-night series. We're going to be there for night 1 in Vegas. It's going to be off the hook. Can't wait to get this show on the road. And Miguel mentioned it. They are starting to put the card together. And we're getting closer to, I guess, looks like Penta might be winning this tournament to face Roman Reigns. Miguel, you're doing the icky shuffle over there.
Is that the La Parka dance?
That's La Parka dance. I think that's La Parka right there.
Yeah. See, I watch WWE products still.
How we doing right there?
Triple Mania is gonna be sick with it. As Tony stated, we can't wait for one of the matchups. We just don't know where and when it's happening. Is it Friday? Is it Sunday? We don't know. Looks like Penta might win the tournament. Is he gonna win? Is he not gonna win? We'll find out. Something interesting happened last night's broadcast was Daga and Perros del Mal all came out to offer Penta a potential come join us, but we'll see what happens because when Ray Phoenix defended his belt, they did the Lucha Bros sign. And yep, and when I had sent you guys a text message about oh the Lucha Bros are back, it was just them walking in the tunnel, and that's what I was just referring to. So I was not referring to them even doing the sign or anything. But when they did that, I don't know how you guys took it, but I took it as they were signaling to everyone that they're back, like and or in some capacity they're gonna be back, right?
Yeah.
So I hope he declines, and I hope Lucha Bros take over AAA these next 6 months to a year coming up. Undertaker's head of creative, so
Yeah, let him cook. Let him. He's been cooking.
let him exactly let him
Dead
cook.
man. He's good.
That's why I had to stop my
But
podcast.
okay, but actually, I want to go back to a point real quick, or actually, we could just talk about it now,
Yeah, go for it.
so we can go into this segment.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho needs to take into consideration the same way some of his buddies are doing in WWE. For example, I understand they're two different wrestlers. I understand two different abilities, two different types of bodies. I get it. But The Undertaker put himself through some grueling matches during his career as well. And for him to finally say, you know what? I'm better in the back right now than what I am moving. This is why I always respect wrestlers like him, Stone Cold, and other wrestlers that learned how to walk away when it was time to walk away, because they understand. And I'm not saying Stone Cold at this point. Now I'm talking about the Undertaker. They understand at some point that they're better off working in the back because they're gonna be a valuable asset rather than we're getting Jericho off the second rope, and it's like,
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? Are you okay, Miguel?
Oh no.
You all
No,
right?
he Jerichoed and broke a hip.
Yeah,
and in our last podcast, me and Mondo, that's what me and Mondo were laughing about because we're like, oh, did you guys see that off the top rope? And the first thing that didn't come to mind was, wow, what a move, or bro, did you guys see that spot? No, the first thing that came in mind was like, oh, it looked like he hurt himself. And it was like, this can't be the product that you're putting out when you were part of what will always be looked at as the golden age of wrestling in terms of where entertainment finally met the market and where they were at. He was part of that, man. You can be such a valuable asset for AEW. Not saying that they're not doing anything right, wrong, excuse me, because I love AEW. But what I'm saying is,
sometimes they do things wrong. It's okay.
could you imagine that mind in the back though, creating these storylines or helping these storylines instead of trying to be on camera, the learning tree?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
we
you
all
gotta
agree.
give credit. You gotta give credit to like what would you say, and that it goes back to somebody like a Shawn Michaels, like who overtook NXT from the when he retired, and they were bringing up NXT and rebuilt it, and kudos to Shawn for he whatever he was looking at.
Tony, you're doing a great job. It's coming from the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I can't do a good Shawn, but I could do his cross-eyed.
Yeah, don't get stuck there, Shaq. So it'll be fun. But that's what I mean. Like Shawn Michaels has been very, very, very good, backstage at NXT, and he built up that roster. He built up the which was the golden age of the black and gold before AEW had all these wrestlers. Undisputed Era was out there, but he helped create what they've already built in the indies and gave them that platform. Now Undertaker is doing the same thing too. Whatever they did in AAA, they're giving them, to extent what Mondo, you texted me the other day. It's like, oh, more of a WWE programming. Yeah, but now it's technically working in a sense where they're it might be 2 or 3 matches, or I don't know how many matches it was.
It was only 2.
It was only
matches.
2, yeah.
But then again, they spliced that up, kind of like what in a sense.
Yeah, you were telling me like back in the day with the Monday Night Raw. I remember that.
Correct.
They would.
And so they're progressing the storylines, even though it was an hour and a half of
50 minutes
program.
and 49 seconds. Yeah. Not to be exact. Yeah, who does that?
Oh, okay. but you know what I mean? They're taking their time, and as I said, let Undertaker cook, which he obviously did when it was Mask versus Mask, one of the 5-star matches the WWE has had from you know who, Madu, for a long time. So your uncle, what's his face, 5-star match.
No, I was going to do an impression of him, of Dave Meltzer, Papa Meltzer there.
There you go.
And, let me. But the way I see it, Tony, is that I can't do the voice because my throat hurts doing that Vince impression. But the way he grabs the mic, it's like, I don't know what you want there, buddy, but kind of work on your mic holding skills. But just to reiterate, it's just that what I'm seeing is copy and paste, which is good. But as I will say this, as a wrestling fan, I want to see more wrestling. 2 matches in 50 minutes, and then the rest was just talk in the opening segment. There you had Dominic Mysterio brawling with the Grande Americano, which was great. Do I think it was a great opening segment? Yes, but I think it took away from the wrestling that we should be watching. But yeah, those are it's, WWE product. That's the way they're going to do things.
Yeah, and it's
but it's great. Look, don't get me wrong. Like I was watching it. Yeah, I gave my 2 cents there, but I'm just like, okay, cool, because when you talk about things, it kind of opens your eyes. And thank you for that, Tony, for letting me know, like, hey, Raw was like that. And yeah, and I do like the whole storyline because we'll go through this because it was basically mainly Dominic and Grande Americano setting up a good feud there, but. I'm Ray and I'm coming out and I think I'm going to double cross this guy and keep my son with the title because I think he's gaining too momentum. And I'm calling it right there. We're going to have a double cross. Rey Mysterio is going to double cross Grande Americano and he's going to stick with family. And then 2, the shirt offering, that is so reminiscent of the NWO. And like you said, Tony, in the golden age of the black and gold NXT with the Undisputed Era, you were trying to get Roddy, you were trying to get, it was Roderick Strong as the 4th person there because you had Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and they were just offering the shirt. Yep. And I'm just like, that's really good. Did it take too long on the mic? A little bit, but then again, like you said, they're trying to create the story. They're trying to do something that CM Punk didn't want to do on SmackDown, was give him a history lesson, but they did it in such a way where it's like, sorry, CM dumbass, we do want to know the history between Perros del Mal and Penta, because it's more interesting than your feud with Kevin Owens, because you water it down for some reason. It's just like, ugh. But then again, neither here nor there. Just going back to the main point. Good job of what they're doing. And then at the end of the segment, who is that tall guy that looks like Damian Priest 2.0 from the group? Bronco something? What's his name? Bronco? Bronco? I don't know.
I forgot his exact name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, he's like setting up beef with Penta, which was awesome at the end of the night while I'm spitting. But no, it's really great. So yeah, there's ups and downs. Me as a wrestling fan, I would like to see more wrestling, but at the same time, I was like, okay, cool. You're giving me what I need to know. If I'm, you can say I'm totally new and I'm going this as new. And I do like the fact that they're giving me like a history lesson on why they're trying to get Penta in and why he needs the family if he makes it to the final against Roman Reigns. So see, there's a lot to digest in there, but they did it in such a way where it was good. So,
kudos to them.
Yes.
So that was a good show. And again, we're getting
Mark, you don't hear that from me, but damn it.
We're getting closer and closer. And I hope next Saturday they will announce more matches on AAA. So that way it gets us more hyped up, because we're literally almost literally less than a month away from watching Triple Mania, Triple Mania, so to speak. So good things. We're high hoping. Our hopes are high, and hopefully they'll deliver some quality matches or announce some quality matches for Triple Mania Night 1 in Vegas. Moving on to AEW. We talked about Jericho, but we'll talk to him talk about him in a little bit. We're setting up again, getting ready for what are we talking about? All In, London, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. Nice little segment, Mondo, and then I know you have your doubts on that.
I feel like I'm going all out and be like, just give me the Chicago show at this point, because you guys cooked 2 weeks ago before Grand Slam with that whole like promo, and then you come a week later after that to give me, I'm gonna go with Krusty the Clown. Like, what the hell was that? Like, you guys didn't do anything to further the feud. It was just god awful, and it's just like, we know you're friends, we're there, but spice it up a bit, you get it a little bit more personal. But they didn't do that. I thought it was a missed opportunity to hype up the build between them. Hopefully, they got 2 more shows, I believe, right? Or 2 or 3? Probably 3. They got to do some work between those guys. But yeah, man,
wasn't good.
Was not good.
It was. You didn't like Don Callis coming out and being like, "Hey, I know Kenny Omega, and we screwed him over when he was raising him as a little kid."
Doesn't need to be there. Does not need to be there. It's between. They already established Kenny. They already established Will Ospreay. I like calling him Willie, but you don't need these other outside factors coming in and just be like, "Oh, I know him, and you need my help." Well, time and a place, because you can set up a storyline after All In. After you let these 2 guys build that animosity, build for me to want to buy the pay-per-view.
I think we've already kind of established that. I think people are going to buy it. I think that's one of the main events.
You got to put more seats in the stadium. You got to sell more tickets.
So, are you saying that they're having trouble selling tickets?
At this point, yes, they are having trouble getting those tickets, and you got to spice things up, man. Is it helping their cause? No.
Do you think the potential arrival of a certain group, Miguel, do you think as the arrival of a certain group coming to AEW will probably spice things up, as we saw the return of Swerve Strickland? Oh, is this upside down? I'm
just playing. I'm reading it.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it was upside down here. But the trios.
You're not Ahmed Johnson, so you're good.
Congratulations to Brodito and Hangman Page, obviously, for winning. But then now we got. No, he doesn't like that. Sorry, man. But we got Mr. Swerve Strickland coming back, and I guess he might be coming back with backup.
I wonder
what
who.
do you guys think, Miguel or Q-Packy?
I don't know.
Who?
Do you think they like pancakes?
I would love some pancakes. If you guys come and watch AEW in the morning, I will be making pancakes. I will make pancakes for you guys. Again, missed opportunity. I think if you're gonna, it's not a secret anymore. We already know what's gonna happen in All In. You might as well let the have the, what is that? What's the expression I'm looking for? Hatch the eggs or some shit. I don't know. Something about some eggs. I forget. But no,
hatch the pancakes before they go into chickens. Yeah, there you go.
That's the one. Exactly.
That's the one.
That's the one. Let these pancakes out. We already know that they're there. It would have been amazing for that segment, and then they could have built upon that, because now it's just like, oh, I'm Swerve. I'm here. I beat you, Bandito. I beat you, Brody King. I beat you, Hangman. But wait, I don't belong because I don't have 2 other people with me. Now I got to walk out of the ring. Aha! And it's somewhat in a disrespectful kind of way. For what? He should have, quote unquote, pulled the trigger and said, but I'm not alone. And they should have made their entrance or the reveal right there at that show. But, we don't work in the back, guys. again, fantasy booking. Sorry, Triple H, but we like to think here at this podcast, it should have been done right then and there, or maybe a week or two before, maybe like next week or a week before the pay-per-view. And then it's like, oh, mind blown. Now I got to get the pay-per-view. Now I got to, I got to be there if I was in England over there.
Miguel, you were saying something. I think you're keep we're talking at the same time. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
What were you
all I
saying?
was saying, I was just happy that Swerve is back. So we'll see what happens.
Swerve.
What is her new name though?
Huh?
What's the new something? Good afternoon, the good day,
The next day, I don't know.
The next
We'll
day.
see. I guess once they debut,
Circus
right? 'Cause
Breakers.
Icebreakers. Because obviously their 90-day contract or their no compete clause actually expired, I think, like about a week or two ago. So hopefully, that's why they were able to put out that video, the way they did, and so they're off and running, and we're hoping that they're gonna land 2 weeks from now, in London, against the Brodito and Hangman Page for the trios title.
What if it's
but then-
Sheamus and Claudio?
Huh?
What if it's Sheamus and Claudio? It's the
Yeah, you
bar
don't
with
know.
Swerve.
That'll be a real swerve for sure. The Continental Cup is still going strong. We got some victories over the last 2 shows. Again, I like I mentioned it to you guys, I really enjoyed the Saturday version of these matches, especially with Nigel McGuinness and Shibata, which I thought was a very old school wrestling match versus the flippy floppy things that we see normally, which again doesn't take away from what they do, but I enjoyed mat wrestling. And we talked about, at least I mentioned it, having stories being built in the ring without actually having a hype for it. You might advertise it, and like, here you are, guys, get out there and put on a show. And these guys really put on a story with Shibata's ankle and the mat wrestling when it came to Nigel McGuinness. And I really enjoyed the hard hitting of this match. And just overall, this match was amazing. But again, don't want to get into details about the matches and whatnot. But the Continental Cup is something different. And I have been enjoying watching this. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on the Continental Cup, and the way that I guess they're just mixing it up and just kind of throwing it. We got eight competitors now, 4 matches to go. And Kyle O'Reilly was the last one to punch this ticket on
One of your favorites?
Favorites. I think Echi Seto was one of the surprise entrants in there, which I thought was really interesting. I would like to see maybe a CMML guy. So I think I'll probably go with either Echi Seto or maybe Nigel McGuinness to pull off the upset there. But Miguel knows how we feel about Kyle O'Reilly. So I don't think Kyle O'Reilly will be one of them out there. So do you hear my cat? No?
Nah.
No. Oh, okay. This guy's like crying over here. But anyway, I think it'll be between a toss-up between Nigel and Echi Seto. I think.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Richard, got any input with the C2?
No.
No? All right. Well, I'm going to take it away here, guys. They're doing something that WWE is trying to replicate or cannot. Continental Classic, C2, and then you got version of WWE, John Cena Classic. Hey, let's vote you in. You might have lost, but
yet.
hey, you're going to be... It hasn't started, but they're just taking notes right now.
I'm about to say, I'm like, is that still existing?
It still exists. They're still pushing it.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah, so they're looking...
Maybe they are, I don't know.
Yeah, they're just... Right now, they're just observing how AEW is doing it, and that's something they can't really replicate. And yeah, the matches on Dynamite, bangers, but I'm going to go with what you said, Tony, this past Saturday. Holy crap. Mat wrestling, lost art, like you said, flippy floppy, whatever. That's your opinion. That's fine. But when it comes down to mat-based wrestling and AEW, nobody does it better than they do when they mix and match. And then you had factions within factions. You had Brian Cage, who sadly enough did not get a pop in his hometown. I'm just like, guys, what the hell? you know? And I'm pretty sure they probably agreed on something because I'm like, man, if he gets a good pop, you may want him to win, but he didn't get a pop, so he ended up losing. But good, and I do like Hechicero. I think he's one of the greats there, technical wrestlers. And that was really cool because it was two Don Callis family members going at it. Same thing with Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, two conglomeration guys going at it. And man, what can you say about Shibata and Nigel McGuinness? But what a hell of a match. And I like that in-ring psychology, working the ankle, working Nigel's like knee and his shin, and how smart he was just to attack Shibata's ankle throughout the match and just getting crafty. Dude, there are some things that you will not see in WWE, but you can see it in AEW. And it's sad because, again, most people, they don't hear about this thing, or they don't know because, hey, when you go to that one company, they don't want to talk about your background. They just want to talk about this. You go to AEW, they at least acknowledge there was some type of history, whether it be, in the other company or overseas or something. They fill you in. And when you see these two guys who are just workhorses, dude, and we're going to go back to that. Like, if Jericho was able to move like Nigel McGuinness and Shibata, because they're up there in age as well, we wouldn't be talking about Jericho, hanging up the boots and working in the back. But I'm glad to see that what they're doing with the Continental Classic is something different. Not different because they've had this already for the past few years. It's just a little bit different in the how the overall bracket and the tournament's going on. And again, 4 more matches. It's going to culminate at All In. And yeah, there's going to be room for upsets, but I think what we're going to see, and you guys are not going to like this. I know Tony and Miguel. I'm already predicting what we're going to see at All In. It's just going to be Kyle O'Reilly versus John Moxley. Words, they're just words, and they don't hurt me. When I go into All In, I'm going to drop the belt to Kyle O'Reilly because he deserves it. And that's what you're going to see. That's going to be my pick. Kyle O'Reilly winning it for the belt. Again, John Moxley, All In. Not the most popular decision, but it's one that needs to be made. And I think we're going to see it. And you can quote me on that. I'll put 2 cents. I'll put 2 cents.
All right. No, 2 C's, right? 2 C's, 2 cents.
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of titles and whatnot, Divine Dominion they came out, and Megan Bayne came out again, and they both look super dominant yet again. Do we continue this momentum?
Yeah, well, I mean, she got beat up at the end, so yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. It's probably the only thing in both promotions that hasn't been touched that they're doing well, and that's leaving the titles on them to show their dominance. And that is probably the only titles, again, in the 2 dominant promotions that we talk about that I'm happy that they're not switching it or dropping it every now and then. Like they've held on to it for a while, but again, that's because it shows their dominance. So
yes, keep the momentum going, and yeah,
keep those hockey jerseys on.
The hockey jerseys. Well, I mean, I think they had like beers, and I think they dropped them
as
they were cheering. But they look really good. And I hope the Divine Dominion continues the streak. And from the beginning, we've always been supportive of who they are. And then hopefully they don't lose these titles and at All In London. So we'll just keep it going there. And then finally, we get to actually talk about what you guys have been kind of mentioning it. Chris Jericho. I'm sorry, Jericho. He dropped the Chris out of nowhere, but I guess he's one man, one name show, Jericho. You guys have been talking about him the last week or two. One of you guys called him Y too old or Y too slow, I think.
Yeah, that was me on both counts.
Is it time, guys, for actually, and we touched about it. Is it time for him to retire, Miguel? Or Miguel, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just as I said earlier, again, it's just this time to go. He's better off as a creative. Then again, I'm not an executive. I haven't worked in the business, but just assuming from his experience, he would be better in the back.
Richie?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Miguel. It's one of those, look, we know he can talk, he can put on promos, he can hype someone up, he can talk shit to someone, but wrestling, man, it's just time. It's your body's not there. It's one of, as they always say, you gotta listen to your body. I don't know if he's just not listening or if he's just being stubborn about it. Right. He can't basically do the moves properly. That's all I can kind of say. Like he can't. And
He just
whether he's injured, whether he's just stiff, whether he's got something, either way, it's you could still be a promotion and encourage people will still like you. You could take a bump here and there, but
But at the moment, are we seeing? Well, and I do agree. I think it's time for him to kind of like, okay, you're a great name, and I love it. I love Jericho, and his song always brings the crowd up when he comes in. But I think the last couple of matches, correct me if I'm wrong, he's been losing, right? He's been being defeated. So is this him giving back to the company in terms of like giving back to the wrestling, giving back to wrestling in general, saying, "Here you go, guys, get this win. I'm gonna give you this win," just like those that came before him, laid down on their back so that way he can be elevated. Milo, you're laughing.
Yeah, because the problem is that if you watch AEW closely, people who lose to Chris Jericho or get the pin on him, get the win over him, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for their careers. Danny Garcia got a victory over him, and okay, where's Danny Garcia? Part of the, I was gonna call him the Blackpool Combat Club, but it's the what the hell are they called now? Death Riders. Death Riders. My God, see, it's just like when you think of Danny Garcia, you don't think Death Riders. Just another point there that we made. Yeah, he's more of a dancing, more of an entertainer. And who, again, if you look down the list on who beats Chris Jericho, it's just like they become abysmal. They're no longer relevant. And just like I'm worried that his version of giving to these younger talents isn't working. It isn't. It's like, oh, okay, I got a pin on Chris Jericho. Where did that leave me? Death Riders, where I shouldn't belong because we've already established that again. Kevin Knight gets the win, which was kind of awful to look at because he had to take Kevin Knight from one side of the ring all the way to the other so he can get stabbed in the forehead. I mean, come on, dude. Like, you're a veteran. You should know your spot by now. But, but again, it's not a botch, as he doesn't like to acknowledge. But it was a mistake nonetheless. But yeah, you go down the list of people you can't name but Danny Garcia. So what does that tell you? It doesn't mean anything. He's not helping anyone but himself. He's staying relevant. And yet these other names who get a victory over him, it's like, where are they now? It's like, where are you guys? Nowhere to be seen in the AEW wrestling landscape. Because why? Getting a victory over Chris Jericho doesn't do anything. It doesn't. Again, the only way he can actually help younger talent is just like Miguel said, like we've been saying, take a VP role, take a backstage role, go back into Gorilla, do creative. Because he is smart, he is intelligent, don't get me wrong. Each line is a Jericho, here's Lionheart Chris Jericho, here is Y2J, here is the Painmaker, it's like Jesus, he knows how to reinvent himself. So his knowledge and reinventing himself can go deep into that back locker room with a bevy of young, I was about to call them superstars, young wrestlers there. And that'll benefit them the most in that capacity. Because right now, there is no benefit in getting the pin on Chris Jericho. There really isn't. What happened to... No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but wouldn't you be at least like, hey man, I got a pinfall. I got that on my resume that I beat Chris Jericho.
Did it take me anywhere? I'm just
Fair enough.
if it
No, fair
did,
enough.
then I'd brag about it. But at this one, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck.
You know,
Because
and
right
that-
now, because the late Chewbacca, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was gonna say kind of like to jump off of Mondo's point. It's like, and even yours is that, yeah, that would have meant something maybe a couple years ago, but we're at the point now where like, okay, you should retire, and then it's you should retire, and then he's still going. Now it's like,
Yeah.
if the word is, oh, he should retire, so you getting a pin on someone who should retire is not really a thing. You know, it's more like that his reputation kind of within that wrestling world just dropped. Now we're like you said, if he was probably either on a win streak or at least like had some at least decent really good matches here and there now, then yeah, okay, then the young talent's learning something. That's the other thing. Like, yeah, they get a pin, but they're not. Are they learning something while they're in the ring from him? Because it's more like it seems like they not that he's bad, but they might be carrying him a little. Like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, you might be right. Yeah.
They
And
carry
for
him, and
someone
then
who's a veteran
yep.
who, you know, supposed to be like very knowledgeable in that, in the actual ring, they're probably carrying him. Outside the ring, maybe he can give him a lot of knowledge. Maybe he can tell him like, hey, you know that spot, you know, you got to do like the, you know, just that's why we're saying like any type of backstage role, mentorship, things like that. I'm almost sure he can help someone elevate.
And then you take a Action Andretti who debuted and beat Chris Jericho. Has he done anything in AEW? Nope. He went to Ring of Honor. Forget his name, but he's in the infantry. He also got a victory against Chris Jericho because it just hit me right now. What happened to him? Didn't do anything for his career. Went to Ring of Honor, now in the infantry, which he's doing great. But you see what I mean? It doesn't elevate you. It brings you back to a lower. And I hate to say that. It's just like, damn, you're in the drawing board all over again. Because it's like it should elevate you, but it hurts. It hurts to get that victory. It's just like what the hell? Like that, you know, like Richard said, you know, like maybe 10 years ago it would have been something great, but lately it's just well, you know, I beat Chris Jericho.
Well, I guess to your guys' point, I think we'll probably ended up with this portion of the segment. Miguel, what do you give or take 2 years, 1 year, next month?
Tomorrow.
I'm not too sure. We're not behind the scenes, but I mean, I won't say hopefully soon, but just to reconsider where he's at in life and play his cards right.
Yeah, I mean, overall, you know, he's still a big name, even though he's in his twilight of his career. I think he's in his twilight of his career. I think he has a great name, has a great setup, but yeah, I mean, how much can you do? But and you guys are right. You guys brought up a good point. You know, the rub isn't there anymore. It's not the same as it was back when he first got into AEW, and it is just kind of a not a sad story, but then you know we're seeing the beginning of the end, I think, for Chris Jericho. And like you said, Miguel, I think he would work benefit. You know, he would work wonders if he was backstage. But knowing Chris Jericho, not like personally, but like what he's done in the past, I think he's gonna want to put himself out there a little bit more. I think so. Probably gonna do something with Fozzy, and he's got his his wrestling rager out in the sea. So I think he'll still, you know, in some capacity be wrestling after he leaves AEW, I think.
All right.
But it's all good.
Here's the plan. We're gonna go on that wrestling cruise with Jericho. Callie's gonna challenge him for his retirement match.
While he's doing the DJ.
While he's DJing.
It's all good. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a good, nice, you know, week of wrestling. A lot of interesting stories. And you know, I am gonna throw this one out there, guys, and get your thoughts on the debut of a Mondo would probably say Nepo, I guess, in a sense. We got Zilla
Oh my god, we're gonna talk about this guy.
Yep, we're gonna just talk about
Jeez.
just like what
WWE heavy today or this week, Jesus.
It's had to be him. So
Oh my
Zilla
god.
Fatu is part of WWE now, part of the NXT class. And he's probably maybe the last member of the bloodline that will probably join up pretty soon. Callie, I know you've been kind of keeping an eye on NXT from time to time. So your thoughts on Zilla Fatu showing up on NXT?
Yeah, I think I won't say it's delayed, right? But it's everyone knew this was coming, so yeah, I mean we'll see what happens. To be honest, their NXT looks pretty stacked right now as well too, because they brought over some UK wrestlers, so um yeah, we'll see what happens.
Rich?
I think I know they want to push him, but I think when they keep just bringing up the fact that they're all related, I think it just I think you get a lot of people looking exactly how Mondo looks right now. Because I think it actually the attention is good, but you're taken away if they actually have the talent, if they have that. Like they need to eventually brand out outside of whatever Samoan family it is. And I know it's always like they've been trying to do the Apple, but they did it way too much. And they already dropped a couple of them, right? So because they weren't working. So at this point,
Well, one wasn't even related to begin with.
yeah. And sounds like he's doing well where he went. They didn't
New
even
Japan.
want to.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. So with Zilla, it's like I again, they all it's one of those they all have a potential, but they all can't be stars. They all have potential.
Yeah,
And
just
so,
gotta show up. I think they just gotta make sure they, I think it'll be they already know where they're gonna we already know, excuse me. We already know where he's gonna be placed. We already know where he's gonna end up. But then he's got to make sure he's following the steps, because if he botches, he's really, really bad. They're not gonna bring him up. So I mean,
What?
we
You want to say that one more time? What?
yeah, if he botches, there you go. If he messes up,
Oh my God.
But at the end of the day, he's still gonna be up there.
Do we have amnesia? Do we not recall who? Like you said, because this pisses me off. Sorry, I'm gonna go there. Not on you, Tony. I'm just angry that we're being fed horse shit, and these people, I'm gonna call them that, shoved down our throats since day one. Day one? Suck a dick, dude. Because when they came out as a tag team, day one on Raw, got it. You love your culture, good. Day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, like every other Raw. It was just like, and I know people like Jim Cornette, oh, I don't like the Young Bucks because they do the same thing. Motherfucker never said anything bad about this family, and that's where I have my problem. They do the exact same thing over and over as a tag team. They do the exact same thing as a singles wrestler. Like, they don't change it up just a tiny bit. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy. Yeet. All right.
Fuck it, I was eating.
That's fine. That's fine. Comes to wrestling, can't critique these guys. Can't do anything bad. We don't want to say anything bad about these guys. It's the same goddamn match that's been shoving down our throats since day one. Oos. And them as a tag team, oh my God. Botch after like these missed things, and they would just laugh their asses off. I'm like, dude, because they know they can get away with it. And that's where I got my problem with this freaking nepotism. It's not going to change my mind with the Samoan werewolf. It's not going to change my mind with the like
MFTs.
MFT, my family tree. Even though I do like Tamatonga, because again, he came up a little bit different for my taste. But my God, when is it going to end?
I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
And that's my problem. Is like, man, it's just like other people deserve that time. And here's the thing, deserve that time because they've worked. Half of these guys, it's just a name. Put them in there. I get it. Like back in the 90s, we were kind of seeing the upsurgence of the Hart family kind of coming in, and they didn't do anything with them. They didn't sign some of these guys because maybe they were too old or too young. But,
Hulk
but look
Hogan
at this
was there,
now.
That's why.
Oh yeah,
Like you're talking about like the 80s and then
yeah, 90s. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Different
took over.
landscape now, but it's just like, okay, now we're bringing this whole family. Let's see, we got Roman, we got Jay, we got Jay, we got like
Got Rock,
basically
Rock
like
out there too, Yokozuna.
like no, just now, like you got like about 10 people taking spots away from other people.
Well,
And then they are taking the spots away from other people. And there's so many better storylines, so much creative they got with other wrestlers, but yet we're being fed these guys. I don't know. To me, I'm just like, damn, I'm okay. Like, do what you gotta do.
It just depends on focusing on Zilla though. I know you're focusing on the bigger picture, but
yeah, that's the bigger
focusing
picture.
on Zilla. Just you know, I mean, that's what's gonna happen, right? That's what we all know.
It's gonna happen regardless
I know, that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about him as a singles competitor.
But yes, exactly. So for him to be successful, to you know, what is it that you want to see out of him that'll make him?
What should have been done with Solo, just do his own thing, but then you still force him into the damn bloodline. If he can just do something on his own, okay, great. But we all know it's, you know, like freaking Thanos in Marvel. It's inevitable, you know, that he's just gonna go to the bloodline and just like you said, it's never gonna end. It's
And then I hope not, and I'll throw that out there where we go back to the beginning where we talk about Solo Sikoa, and then actually Solo Sikoa is the one that's probably gonna be the one that kind of implodes the family in there. And again, fantasy booking, I just think that he'll be the one that implodes, and then hopefully, yeah, that's my thought process on having Solo and maybe Zilla joining up together instead, and kind of going up against.
I don't know, the one true champion. I don't know how long he'll have the belt. I mean, I'm sorry, original tribal chief there. Excuse me, I don't want.
No, that's fine because that's no. You want to go in there with this MJF? You can talk about that too. He said himself, it has nothing to do with OTC. He just said, "Oh, the one true champ," and that's it. And I don't know if you saw the shirts. I think I sent it to you guys, right?
Yeah,
the shirts. And he's like, he called it fake. I thought that was pretty cool. I really thought, but it's a good take, and it's funny because I actually looked it up. I'm like, can WWE actually sue AEW for the term OTC? And it's no, you can't. It's just an acronym. Anybody can use it.
Yeah, anybody can use an acronym.
But and I was like, oh, okay. But then right now we think about OTC, you think about Roman Reigns. But it's really crazy that the man is smart. I'll tell you that, man. That the MJF is really smart. If he came up with that, I will give him kudos for coming up with that and kind of like, you look, I could be an OTC myself.
But you see where the timing though, with Zilla being brought out in NXT, he just kind of brought it out somewhat the similar time.
No, I don't.
Or was it a week before? But still, it was just kind of like right there.
What, like
the timing of the OTC shirt and the branding of his version?
Well, I don't see any correlation to both coming out, but I just think that MJF was really smart about, you know, kind of poking fun of if that's what you mean, if he's poking fun of them,
yeah,
saying OTC, then yeah, I can see that if he's making fun of that. But I thought that was a brilliant move. I think, as always, MJF is a great heel, and you know, he's in a tournament himself too. I don't know what that is. What's that all about? Maybe he has another tournament or something that he's doing. But anyway, we could probably get into that next week once we get closer to All In. But any last words, you guys, before we head on out? It's been a hell of a ride right now. But you know, any last words or any tidbits that you guys want to throw out there before we call it a night? Rich, we'll start with you.
Give Matt Cardona the belt. Thank you.
Kelly, any last words before we head on out?
No last words from me.
Manda.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Pew pew pew. We'll leave it at that.
Hey, whoa. Be careful, man. You almost hit this guy back here.
Oh, my bad. Whew.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fun to talk about wrestling. It's fun to critique them, and at the end of the day, these are all of our opinions. We could be right, we could be wrong. This is where everybody has a right to speak their minds, and this is why we come together. I appreciate you guys every single time we do this. Whether we are laughing, whether we get serious about certain topics. At the end of the day, we are wrestling fans and, or sports entertainment fans, whatever you want to call it. It is wrestling, and we love it. And then hopefully you guys too out there that are listening to us, again, if there's something here that you guys agree with or disagree, please let us know in the comment section. We would love to see that. And at the end of the day, we're here to get entertained. And Monday Night Raw's coming up. We got a whole new week of wrestling for AEW. We're getting closer and closer to both. No, there's a lot of wrestling. Jesus Louise, I just realized that there's obviously All In London coming up, and then WWE is doing their counter programming with NXT and AAA.
We can talk about that later too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that once we get closer. And then obviously Triple Mania getting it hyped up. I'm already losing my voice over here. Jeez. But at the end of the day, guys, it's fun. It's wrestling. We're good to go here for the West Coast Wrestling Podcast. Again, guys, this is Tony saying good night, good day, good afternoon. My good friend over here, Miguel, Cali Rattlesnake. We got Mondo. We got Richie D. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, this is the West Coast Wrestling Podcast.